Some people will do literally anything but get a job and or save money for their future. Every year you see the same thing, people come out for Black Friday deals, chasing trends, buying stuff they don't need, waiting in line for hours for a little goodie bag that you may get a piece of food, or you may get a discount card on what you buy at that store. But I guarantee you, a lot of those people won't put that same energy or hours or dedication into getting stable income, getting a stable job, leveling up in their current job, or just overall saving money. And I think that's what tonight's video is about. And I think a lot of it comes from, wanting to be comfortable or wanting to be satisfied over responsibility, especially like just overall like adult responsibilities. Some people avoid that work or smart financial habits because they would rather just distract themselves with like that quick dopamine hit, whether they're going out to eat constantly, or they're buying the new iPhone every time it comes out because it's a nice dopamine hit. Oh, the camera's a little bit better this year. Just overall, trying to achieve that like a short-term excitement. Yeah, and absolutely. I mean, I don't think anyone will disagree. When you buy something new, or when you work hard for something and you buy something, it feels good, right at that moment, or as you're waiting in line to swipe your card to buy that thing. And on the flip side, yeah, saving and earning money, putting it away in your investment accounts, your retirement accounts. It's boring. I mean, you see this money, when you get paid, and then you put the money in, the retirement account, or it goes automatically in a 401k account. And then you may put some in a normal brokerage account or your Roth IRA for the year, whatever investment route or account you go. It is boring. I mean, you kind of set it and forget it. You put that money in, and you're not supposed to touch it, and you just let it sit there for years and years and years and let it compound. And if you were just to explain that to like a 10-year-old who's like, oh well, I could buy you Roblox cards, Roblox points, or I can put this money aside for you, and in 30-40 years it could make this amount of money for you. And a 10-year-old, obviously they're going to be like, I don't care about 30-40 years. I'm 10 years old. I want Roblox. Roblox is the most important thing to me right now. But that's the thing. I don't think they quite understand what that money could do for them, in their future. But as adults, I think we have to. I think reality kind of should set in, and you should realize, even though that investing or sticking your money in that account and forgetting it may come off as boring, and you're not getting to spend it, or get a quick dopamine hit, buying that new iPhone, kind of mentioned before. That's the thing that will actually change your life, and it'll set you up for your future. So you're not, working 40, 50, 60 hours a week in your 60s, 70s, 80s, at your old age, the old times. And, I will, play devil's advocate here and say, it's not always laziness, whether it be like not pursuing a new job or trying to level yourself up, or maybe even, just that down bad where, you just need to get a stable income or get a job. A lot of people are unemployed nowadays, a lot of young people. And, that wasn't really an option for me, especially, living at home. If I wanted to continue to live at home, I'm going to be working. I'm going to be working, paying my bills, paying my little piece of the rent, paying off my car. I didn't really get that opportunity to just not have a job. So for some, it's definitely laziness, but I mean, maybe others, it could be, fear, avoidance, not knowing where to start. I don't find those the strongest excuses, because at the end of the day, we have just the amount of access we have to technology nowadays. Maybe you don't have a phone, or maybe you don't have internet at home, but I'm sure your local library, you can browse on their computer all day and look for jobs, or maybe get a book, check out a book, or stick to the computer online and, focus on leveling yourself up, leveling up on skills or whatnot. I'm sure there's plenty of job fairs around. A lot of people, I don't want to say a lot of people are hiring, but there's definitely help out there. I won't deny that the current market, it's brutal. I mean, you see the tech layoffs going on, the government layoffs, government freezes, and just like your mom and pop shops or your local shops around, like your Targets, your Walmarts. I mean, I don't think they're hiring as much now. I mean, there's definitely probably slower in the hiring process. But I mean, it is all what it is. I mean, if you want to just sit and complain, oh man, like the job market's so tough, like I can't, it's so tough, why even bother? I think that's a loser mentality right there. Sure, it's difficult, and if you accept the fact that it is difficult, you're a realist. Absolutely. Like, I think we can both agree there that, yeah, the job market is difficult. It's tough out there right now. But you're not going to have a chance if you don't at least try, if you don't at least put yourself out there, apply, network with people, try to connect, and, ultimately like land a job somewhere. And some people may hear this and think, well, I don't want to grind my whole life. I don't want to work a 9 to 5 for the next 40, 50 years of my life. And just all I do is grind and don't spend my money. I was definitely, I guess I should say, I'm fighting that mindset currently. It's definitely a work in progress. These last 1, 2, 3 years, all I've really been doing most of the time is, paying bills, putting money aside for retirement, normal investment accounts, paying off car loan. A little bit of fun here and there. I might go out for a few drinks here and there, go out to a dinner, but very, very rarely. Like, I would always look at, oh, well, I could go out to eat, or I could go out and get drinks, but that'll get me that quick dopamine for the night, or it may lead to a fun night. But then I'm going to wake up in the morning, check my credit card statement, and think, why did I just spend $100 on drinks? I could have put that into my investment account. Obviously, that is not the best advice there. Don't follow me, to a T right there. Obviously, it's nice to save your money, whatnot, save for retirement, save for the future. But I mean, you don't have to grind 24/7 like myself. And I'm working on it, as past videos portrayed ish. But I feel, although you don't have to grind 24/7, you don't have to save everything you make. You do have to, at some point, grow up financially. The bills will come whether you're ready or not. You have an older car, your car breaks down, you may have to replace a part on there, or your tire might blow, you might have to replace the tire. If it's a new car, you have a car loan, you're gonna have to pay the car loan. If you don't pay your monthly loan payment off, they're gonna come repo that car, and now you don't have a car to get to work. You got to live somewhere, you got to eat, you got to pay utilities. If you have a significant other, or if you have kids, or if you're planning for either one of those, you got to set money aside. All I hear are kids are expensive as fuck, and especially with like just inflation right now and how prices seem to be just increased over the years. It's difficult out there, guys. I'm not gonna say it's not, and how everything's all hunky dory, but just staying in that negative mindset, or staying in that position where you don't want a job, or you don't think you need a job, it's not reality. I mean, who knows? You may be being a bagger at your local grocery store up into your 80s if you don't kind of lock in now and start putting money aside for the future. And I think just the overall key takeaway, I think this video is pretty much all over the place. I feel I've been all over the place, but if you put the same effort into your income streams, your savings, your investments for the future, as you put into chasing deals, chasing that dopamine hit, chasing that goodie bag sitting in the 6-hour Target line on Black Friday, or just overall entertainment, I think your future self I know your future self will thank you. And like I said, you don't got to save everything. Set a monthly goal of what you want to save slash invest, reward yourself, pay your bills, get all that under control. And then, if you have a little bit left over and you're comfortable, dabble a little bit. Maybe look into like a possible other income stream, with that little side money you have left. Maybe you make more money. You can be a little more laxed on yourself, or, spend it, enjoy yourself, go out for a drink, start going out on dates a little more. Maybe you want to level yourself up, put that money towards a membership at the gym, or a membership learning a mixed martial art, or how to shoot a gun. The world is your oyster, guys. So I'm wrapping it up here. Not a crazy long video tonight, not a super deep video, I don't think, but as always, guys, I appreciate the support. I appreciate the views, the comments. These past couple of videos have kind of popped up a little bit. I'm slowly growing that subscriber count, and to be honest, I thought it would be a little faster. When I initially started this, I was like, it can't be that hard. It can't be that hard to get to 1,000 subscribers. But holy shit, I am a little over 60 videos deep, and I think we just hit 37 subscribers. But slow and steady wins the race, as they always say, guys, or at least that's what I was told. But once again, guys, seriously, thank you for all the support, and I hope you join the lunch table. And as always, the lunch table out.